Welcome everybody to Classic Vinyl Volume 6. And today we talk about The Music Man, the original movie soundtrack from 1962. I understand that musical theater is not everybody's cup of tea, but between the 1930s and 1970s roughly, before the arrival of the big production musical blockbusters like Lion King, Cats or Phantom of the Opera, musical theater was well worth exploring for anybody with an open musical taste. A lot of the show tunes from that time gained a life of their own and have become popular classics like Old Man River, Summertime, or Hello Dolly. Musical theater is a very democratic art form. A lot of musicals have cross-generational appeal, and in almost all big shows, the ratio of songs sung by male and female characters is 50-50. Now compare that to male-dominated rock music, and you will get my point. The Music Man by Meredith Willson started its Broadway run in 1957 before a film adaptation was made in 1962, from which this soundtrack album is taken. It is a light-hearted comedy set in small-town Iowa, and it shows a professional trickster who sells brass instruments to unsuspecting parents and then makes off with the money without starting the promised boys' band. This traveling salesman goes by the name of Harold Hill, and he arrives by train in a place called River City to carry out his plan. But this time he gets his foot caught in the door and ends up falling in love with the librarian called Marian. The music itself is very cheerful, but for a Broadway show, it's surprisingly varied and rich. Take the opening, for example. Rock Island is totally original. We're on a train, and the salesmen gathered there start talking rhythmically about Credit First, and then about Harold Hill, and as the train speeds up, their talking gets faster and faster, and basically we have a rap song before rap even existed. Furthermore, we have some fine examples of Broadway counterpoint, which means that two different songs share the same harmonies and chord structures so that they can be sung separately but also simultaneously. This gives Meredith Willson the chance to fuse Harold Hill's March 76 Trombones with Marian's lullaby Good Night My Someone in 3/4 time. Other songs are deliberately used to paint a picture of small-town Iowa society at the beginning of the 20th century. For example, Iowa Stubborn or the Wells Fargo Wagon, which is impatiently awaited by the entire town population. Everybody hopes it will bring them fulfillment of their materialistic desires in this secluded community. And then it turns out that the Wells Fargo Wagon just delivers the band instruments that Harold Hill has ordered. Another outstanding track is You Got Trouble, in which Harold Hill demonizes a pool table of all things, saying that it will corrupt the town's youth unless, of course, their parents sign them up for the new boys' band. And let's not forget the big final number, the love song that Harold and Marian finally sing together on the footbridge. And that song, of course, is Till There Was You, which the Beatles covered 1 year later on their With the Beatles album. You really ought to give The Music Man a listen if you haven't done so already. It shows what American musical theater was capable of in the 1950s. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe and join me again for Classic Vinyl Volume 7. Thank you.